Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a great evening. So today we're going to do something interesting. We want to find out what are your favorite universal basic income platforms, and hopefully you can help spread awareness to places many of us can go to find universal basic income platforms. I did a Google search and this is what I got. Right? Some of the universal basic income platforms, a basic search. And so we're trying to get an idea of where people can go. Now, sometimes we hear things like universal basic income trials, which are basically, generally they're limited to a certain amount of people. They're on a trial run basis, so they might only last so long, several months or something like that. And so when we say platform, typically this is a ongoing thing. And we take a look at our list here. The country of Finland is mentioned. And I think we're going to visit there first to get some information. It's Kela conducted a notable national trial. Now, it made the list and we're going to check it out just to see what it was all about. And I don't know if it's ongoing. I don't think it's ongoing, but we're going to check it out anyway, and we're going to go through this list and look at some other projects. Again, if you have a project in mind that doesn't get mentioned, we would like you to leave it in the comment section, and maybe next time we can cover it or we can have a discussion about it and see what it's all about to bring awareness to it. But looking for something ongoing that many of us in the universal basic income communities can participate in now and have fun with now and learn through these trials and such and learn through these experiments. So let's take a look at the one in Finland first. Kela, I think it's pronounced. I'm not sure. Let me see what's going on with that. Okay, so when I click on the link, it takes me to which appears to be a series of countries that have run universal basic income trials, and it's going to give us some statistics here. And Brazil looks quite impressive. 42,000 participants. The payment frequency was monthly, and the duration of months is a blank. So I don't know if that means they didn't know how long it lasts, or if it's ended. But in any event, that's 42,000 people. I don't know how long it lasts. It could have just lasted 1 month. And we are kind of looking for something we all could participate in ongoing, because I just feel like that's the purpose and the idea behind universal basic income. But Canada did one with 6,500 participants. So again, very limited pools. The notable one that was done in Finland was only 2,000 people, right? Now, one was done in Hong Kong, and it did conclude. Oh, great. These are some active ones here. Now, the one that was done in Canada, it says any individual transitioning out of care. So it kind of sounds more like I don't know. It seems like it's kind of conditional, like it might be some type of welfare program. So I don't know if these are good examples, but these are the government-run ones. And the Islamic Republic of Iran, that's interesting. 75 million people? Is that right? And it was public and it was monthly? And let's see, is it still going? It's still active, right? So so you don't tend to think of Iran as a good country when it comes to this type of thing. But if you could get past all the other negative things that have come out of Iran, maybe that's a good thing. And so these are just some of the countries that are active in the United States. Sonoma County, but it only has 305 participants. So that's really what we're looking at. So these are quite minuscule numbers, right? You and I aren't going to be able to participate in these programs. And so whereas we're always good and hopeful to see them, these aren't going to be platforms I would term as my favorites, right? Of course, they got Alaska in here, and Alaska has a lot of people, but you got to be a member of Alaska. So you got to be a citizen of Alaska. So let's move on to some of the others on the list and see what we get with that. Okay, so let's see what else is happening here. All right. Now, this is when things get a little bit controversial. Apparently, in the universal basic income community, there's a kind of schism or split, and there seems to be these legacy universal basic income people who, if it's anything to do with cryptocurrency, they don't like it, right? That's what I'm finding out through my experience. Now, many of us, to us, money is money, and however we can get this money is good for us. We don't quite understand why they kind of define. Well, we do kind of understand why they would believe it's the stigma that goes along with cryptocurrency, where some people believe it's a scam, right? There are scam elements of it, and they're correct in that. But when it comes to universal basic income, if the idea is to go in and get free money, oftentimes, unless you're bringing money in and you're putting money into something, which should send off red flags and have you asking the question, well, why am I putting money in to get universal basic income? So I don't know why anybody would do that. I understand why people do it, but I don't understand why people who are coming to receive universal basic income would come with a mindset to put money in any kind of investment schemes or things like that. So I think that if you come other than to collect your universal basic income, that might be a red flag, but to each their own, right? We're trying to look at this from a non-biased point of view, but they have some of them in the like World Coin, Good Dollar up here. We'll take a look at those. But first, let's look at, there's one called Donator, focuses on egalitarian monetary creation. And I've never heard of that. So let me take a look at what that's all about. Okay, it says Donator creates Libra money, such as the G1 currency, through a decentralized egalitarian system based on a relative theory of money, where every verified human member automatically generates a daily universal dividend. That sounds great, right? I think models that are based like this sound great. This dividend acts as a basic income, ensuring equal money production rights for all users over time and preventing concentration of wealth. And this is the part that's, I think, is hard to relate to the universal basic income community. Systems like this, right? This doesn't occur in the government system of monetary creation, and we know that. So let's look at the site itself, because I don't know. The only problem is I don't know how exactly you get the money, though. Okay, it says something you can download here. It's a free software. Currencies are first and foremost public utility, right? Exchange tools. However, they are generally managed by proprietary, closed, centralized ecosystems. Products like Bitcoin have developed free and decentralized tools to run currencies. And Donator is inspired by these cryptocurrencies. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys. Everybody's inspired by how cryptocurrencies created over a $3 trillion market, and the money seemed to come out of nowhere. Now, red flags, now green lights should come on for universal basic income people whose principal problem is finding money, it's funding money. Well, these monetary systems seemingly created this money out of nowhere, right? So these should be models that we definitely pay attention to. And I would like to see what the user interface looks like. I wish they had a picture of that, because now I have to download it, and I will download it. I try to support all universal basic income projects. But the G1, because actually there was a person who came in one of the forums, the universal basic income groups, who's talking about this G1 currency, which I was not very familiar with. But it sounds great. Let's see if we can see some type of interface for it, right? Without me downloading. I'm going to try and see if I can find anything. All right, this appears to be what the tool would look like, right? You can see where it's current blocks 307. So it does seem to be generating money on a similar basis of something like Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies and such. And that actually makes sense, guys, because that's going to create a more secure network. You don't want to be creating money creation systems. Somebody can hack it. What happens is you got millions of people using it. One guy comes in overnight. He hacks your system. He takes everybody's money. Now people aren't safe using your money creation tool, right? So what do you do about that? Well, these blockchain technologies and such, or the basis of them, they offer some of the best security we have at this stage, right? But from what I can see, unless there's something else going on, whereas this is a very interesting, it is essentially a wallet, right? It's just a basic wallet, and there's nothing wrong with a wallet, but the problem is when it comes to building a network, right? If you just kind of have a wallet, like you have your, you might think of your Cash Apps and PayPal's, right? You have a lot of people using that as such. There's nothing wrong with that, but initially to get the people in and attracted to the network and to grow your network, you got to have some type of appeal to keep them there. And just downloading this and moving this money around and hoping it gains a network effect, that might be hard to do. But as I understand it, they already have like 55,000 users. That's not bad. If it can keep growing, that'd be a good thing, because once everybody gets the wallet and everybody has it, it's easy to move the money around. But the big challenge for systems like this is going to be, does that 55,000 people who are exchanging this money grow? Because if you only have 55,000 people using this, you're not going to be able to many places to move the money, to conduct commerce, because nobody's going to have it, right? So interesting. I like the concept, how it generates your dividends, but again, the challenge would be getting people to use it, and you're going to have to attract people in order to do that. Okay, now we're going to take a look at Good Dollar. Now, this is one of the cryptocurrency-based ones. It aims to provide daily UBI via crypto, right? And this is where, now Good Dollar is actually, I believe, eToro, the trading company, was some of the first people to establish this and to fund this with over $1 million. And since then, it's been more people coming in and such, right? And so let's take a look at Good Dollar. I actually do have their wallet and have been getting a little bit of money here and there. And let's take a look at it and see if that could be one of our favorite platforms. All right, I'm in my Good wallet, and you can see I have 20 cents in here. So I got some money. Also, with Good Dollar, it is ongoing. This isn't a trial or something like that. That's why some of us like these cryptocurrencies. And I haven't invested anything in Good Dollar. I don't know a lot. I don't think it trades directly, but you can trade it into some of these cryptocurrencies that trade on exchanges if you need to, when you cash out, or maybe you could do transactions directly from the wallet here on Good Dollar, right, where you don't even have to take the money out. And so Good Dollar's been one that's got a lot of praise, for being something that's been around for years now. I haven't heard negative things associated with scams or anything. And at the end of the day, it's free money, right? I mean, it's just, that's the bottom line. That's what universal basic income is all about. Now, 20 cents, that's all I got. I don't come in here every day. I think you do have to come in here and claim every day. But much like the other ones, it's just a wallet, right? And so, until these networks get huge, you're not going to be able to do a lot with them, until it gets to the point where, like, merchants and such take Good Dollar, and you have payment gateways between wallets, Again, that's going to require a lot of people using it. And because when people show up here, they're not going to do a lot of, it's not a lot to do besides just, licking your wallet, move money around. That makes it hard to grow the network. So I guess the next question for me with Good Dollar would be, what is their marketing campaign like? Are they doing any promotional work online? I don't see any kind of affiliate programs or anything like that as of yet. Let me go to activity and see if what's happening here. Yeah, it's just showing some of the money I claim, but it's just a standard wallet, like many other universal basic income such projects, right? But I hear talk of this one called Comingo, and it's not a cryptocurrency. So let's take a look at that, because I haven't got an account with that one yet, but people have told me about it, and I think I saw a story about it on the news. So let's take a look at Comingo, see what we can find out about it. Okay, so we're on Comingo, and let's just read what it's all about, because I understood to be some type of universal basic income, but I have no idea how it works. But it says here, the money sharing app, be part of a community that makes sure everyone has a weekly income, right? So we're a network of people pledging to share a portion of our income with those who might need it more. Okay, when we combine our generosity divide, we've got ourselves a system that's fair. It's just, okay, so right off, I kind of have a little bit of problem with this because it's saying that people can put money in, but and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's almost like, in fact, let's just watch the 90-second video that tells us a little bit about it.
Okay, we've got 90 seconds to figure out how to fight poverty and income inequality in America. Let's start with the chart. Here are some people. Here is their income. Some people have a lot. Some people have none or not enough. We can argue about why that is, but let's not. Let's just make this number go up because we care, and because it's the 21st century. A ton of research has proven that the best way to make that number go up is with direct cash. No strings attached. So let's agree to set aside a small percentage for whoever needs it more. Let's say 7%. We combine that generosity into one big pile of human kindness, divide it up evenly, then give it back in equal amounts. Look what just happened. These people have more money than they started with. This person saw no difference at all, and these people probably barely noticed. If the average individual income of the group this week is $650, then this amount works out to about $45 a week. That's a trip to the grocery store or a tank of gas to get you to work. That's an extra $180 a month to pay your utility bills or visit the dentist. It's also a nice reminder that other people care, and you're not on your own. At Commingle, we're building the technology to make this all work. With a secure bank connection, you can get a good idea of who needs money and who's got it to spare on any given week. The same connection can be used to transfer funds to or from your account. We can run all the calculations and break down the data so everyone knows how things are going. No forms to fill out, no waiting around for government programs, just a one-time login to be part of a system where everyone has income for the week. We're almost there, but we could sure use some help. Let's make it happen.
Let me tell you guys something. I really like that. You know, at first I was thinking, like, I don't think this is a good idea because, like, why would some, you know, when it comes to kind of compassion, generosity, I sometimes feel like when it comes to us human beings, you can be asking a little bit too much from, you know, and not just that. People have their own problems, you know. They have their own financial problems. And a lot of people seeking universal basic income probably is going to be doing it because they need a little extra help, right? You know, now it is a good idea in a way because this could attract people like, hopefully, Elon Musk. Why isn't Elon Musk on here, right? If you can get somebody like him on here and he just goes around just throwing out money on, that would be great, right? Because what I like about the app, the technology, is it shows you whose bank accounts it sucks, right? And so if it moves you, you can move money toward there and you're helping somebody. Now, the problem is the people who are giving the money again, they got to really be philanthropic, right? They can't be like selfish people. They got to be good people that wants to help people. And that could be, you know, asking a lot from us, you know. But again, if you can attract the right kind of people, right? You know, that could work. And again, my only issue, I think why I like the cryptocurrency ideas a little bit better, because somewhere in human nature, right? Even though you have speculators in cryptocurrencies, these are people doing it under the idea that they're going to get something back, right? And so that's what speculators do. They take risk and they provide liquidity because of the risk-reward relationship. And that's more in tune with how humans in a capitalistic model work. And I think that's why Bitcoin went on to be worth trillions of dollars, right? So, but I like this still, right? I think that this can help. I don't know how big of a scale it could work on, but I think that how the application works, that is a cool addition to universal basic income methods. The funding is going to be the problem because you're asking people to put up put up their own hard-earned money, and you know, so there's going to be a lot of people with a very charity-based mindset, more so than a growth mindset. You know what I'm saying? So interesting stuff. I like it. Well, let's check out. Let's see what else we got here on the list. All right, guys, we're here on BitcoinNYK.com. Now, I skipped over some of the notable ones we've seen on the list, like WorldCoin, right? I'm going to tell you why. We know WorldCoin to be the one started by who was, was affiliated, at least at the very beginning, with people like Sam Altman, who were trying to find ways to solve the automation issue. And it's a cryptocurrency. It's become a little controversial because it had the retina scans, and it's more so regarded as an online identification platform at this stage, right? Which is important to universal basic income because you don't want people getting it 2-3 times over and hurting other people from getting it, right? So how you verify is very important. But I didn't include it and Proof of Humanity because their platforms are essentially the same. It's just going to be a wallet there, right? It's not going to even be an application like Comingle. And so I feel like we've, especially dealing with cryptocurrency, we covered that pretty well. But why Bitcoin NYK, I think, is last but not least my favorite, right? And it's one I'm actually a part of. And I'm being as non-biased as possible, guys, honest. But the reason I like this so much so is because you can see here I have a wallet. But what's different about this, the wallet is integrated with the wallet is integrated with what appears to be a social network, right? But it's more than that, right? That means that instead of just seeing a wallet when you get here, people can stick around and they can engage in social media. They can create groups. They can make friends. They can do all this stuff, right? And so it starts to feel like an everything app, right? You do video uploads and all kinds of stuff, right? You're working on your profiles, creating groups, just a lot of fun stuff. But here's the big kicker about it, right? When it comes to creating a dividend, like many of them do, like money generation. The money generation, first off, it doesn't come from, it is universal in that when you log in, you automatically start to get the money, right? But it is also attached to the activities you do. So you earn more and more of the money just by doing simple things you do in a social media setting already, right? So you can see for logging in, you get some of the money for viewing a page, for updating your profiles, and the list goes on and on, just a basis of standard things you do through social media. And you begin to collect more and more money into your wallet like this. Now, one of the questions that get asked a lot is, well, you look at some of the other examples we looked at where people were just adding money in, right? The cryptocurrencies, they didn't have to add money in because much like how the Bitcoin system worked, right? They were gaining value through over exchanges and such. But if you look right here, right, and I'll blow it up a little bit, these are some of the exchanges that the Bitcoin NYK cryptocurrency trades on, right? And we use blockchain technology, but this is a social media platform linked with a universal basic income program. So I don't consider it a cryptocurrency, but it does use blockchain technology. And I think it's very important you understand that. Under Metcalfe's law, much like how you get an example of Elon Musk paying $44 billion for Twitter, he was looking at how many users was there. The more users come in, the value is relational to that, right? For many reasons. And so the reason I like this is because instead of it just being a wallet, when you get there, it's something you can do. So it's more fun, right? And that's why it is my favorite. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't ones out there that are good or just as good as such, but this is what we've covered today in the video. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions. Guys, tell me all what you think about this your favorite platform and why, and tell us why. Love to hear about it. That's all I want to say in this video. Guys, if you like content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe. Till next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.